You want to know the best invisibility cloak? It's not magic, it's being ordinary. So ordinary that people's eyes just slide right past you, like you're a crack in the wall, or a boring, faded patch of wallpaper. That's me, Chloe, 17 years old. My major is being forgettable. My minor is blending in. And my invisibility, it has this weird side effect, a secret I've never told anyone. I call them memory echoes. I touch old things with a strong history, and these flashes just hit me. A woman crying in a mirror, a kid's laughter on a staircase, a door slamming shut. At school, I'd touch a desk and see flashes of a kid who failed a test. It's exhausting. It's a constant noise of other people's lives. Not a full movie, just broken trailers. My doctor said it's an overactive imagination. My parents think I'm just too sensitive. But me? I think it's a curse. It just proves that even old, dead objects have better stories than I do. I'm just an empty echo. So I learned to avoid it all. No antique shops, no touching grandma's old jewelry. I tried to live in a new world, a world with no echoes. But then, my world fell apart. The whispers started after Dad lost his job, late at night. Words like foreclosure and no options left. Dad's company had layoffs. His name was on the list. Just like that, "We can't afford it" became the new soundtrack in our house. We sold the house, the only place I ever knew. Everything we owned, everything that made me feel safe got shoved into cardboard boxes. Boxes that said fragile. The funny thing is, nobody seemed to notice that I was the most fragile thing in the house. A mover almost ran me over.
Watch it, kid.
I just pressed myself against the wall. Disappeared. I realized right then, when real life hits, a 17-year-old girl's feelings are basically invisible. Our only option was a relative I'd never even met. My dad's great aunt, Serafina. She had just died, no kids, and in her will, she left us her only property. A huge, old house in the middle of nowhere. No one knew why. She hadn't spoken to our family in decades. So we packed up our old car with the pieces of our life and just drove. The silence in the car was deafening. Drove toward a future given to us by a dead woman we didn't know. When we pulled up, I couldn't breathe. The house wasn't a home. It was a museum of secrets. Big, dark, and every window looked like an eye staring down at me. It made me feel smaller than ever. We're living here?
Look at this woodwork, Chloe. They don't make them like this anymore. It's a new start.
A new start. Right. He was trying. I knew he was. But all I could feel was the weight of 100 years of sadness. When I put my hand on the giant wooden door, this cold shock went up my arm. The echo was so clear. A woman's voice, strong and steady, whispered right in my head.
"They will find their way here. Eventually."
I almost screamed. That wasn't my imagination. It felt like a warning. The inside of the house was even worse. Dust everywhere. White sheets covered the furniture like ghosts. It smelled like old books and decay. My parents started talking about repairs, trying to sound positive, but I was suffocating on all the memories trapped in the air. The house creaked and groaned around us, like it was deciding if it would let us stay. I went upstairs alone just to get away from my parents' forced optimism. I found a study. Moonlight came through the stained glass window and landed on an old diary on the desk. My hand was shaking, but I had to touch it. The second I did, the images exploded in my mind. A young Serafina, beautiful, laughing, dancing in a garden with a handsome man. It felt so happy. Then it cut. A violent argument. The man yelling, pointing at a piece of paper. Fear all over Serafina's face. Then, nothing. Just darkness. I stumbled back, my breath caught in my throat. I had to get out of that room. My heart was pounding. Who was he? What happened here? The voice from downstairs made me jump. I ran down and saw him. A tall guy, standing in the doorway. He had a warm smile and kind eyes.
"Sorry, didn't mean to just walk in. The front door was ajar. I hope I'm not intruding. My name's Liam. I'm a local history researcher. I've been studying the owner of this house, Miss Serafina Winston. Heard new residents moved in. Thought I'd see if I could help with anything."
He was like a light bulb in the middle of all that darkness. Confident, talkative, everything I wasn't. My parents loved him instantly. They invited him in. I just stood behind them, twisting the hem of my shirt, hiding in my shell again. Why would a guy like that ever notice me? But he did.
"You must be Chloe. You look like you've already found something interesting in this old place. Hello?
My mouth went dry. What could I say? Yeah, I just watched a memory of my dead great aunt's doomed romance. He'd think I was a total psycho. It's just really dusty.
Don't worry about that. In a house like this, every speck of dust is hiding a good story. Maybe we could find them together?
For the first time, looking at his smile, I felt this stupid little spark of hope. Maybe this wouldn't be so bad. Maybe this could be a new start. I was so naive. I had no idea the story he wanted was a lie, and I, the invisible girl, was about to become the main character. Liam started coming over almost every day. We started exploring together. I couldn't tell him my secret, of course, so I pretended my echoes were just lucky guesses. It became a game. I have a weird feeling about the bottom of this drawer. Liam would then find a false bottom. Inside, a small silver box. I'd touch it and see a flash of Serafina hiding it, whispering the word prototype.
Your intuition is incredible, Chloe. How do you do it?
I don't know. The house just speaks to me, I guess. This old music box, the song sounds a little off, doesn't it? And Liam would discover tiny numbers etched into the metal, like a code. I'd touch it and hear Serafina humming the same tune in a lab filled with blueprints. I was living on this dangerous edge, thrilled that I could keep my secret, but also feeling guilty for lying to him. But something else was bothering me. The echoes I was finding, they were getting darker. More fragments of fear, of betrayal. Serafina was fighting against some kind of powerful group, an organization, and their symbol, an eagle holding a compass, it gave me chills every time I saw it in a flash. The big shift happened on a rainy afternoon. We were in the study, looking through old papers. Liam pulled out this beautiful old fountain pen to take notes. That's a really nice pen.
It was my grandfather's. A good luck charm, I guess.
He got up to grab a book from a high shelf, and the pen, it slipped from his pocket. It landed silently on the thick rug. Without thinking, I just bent down and picked it up. The second my fingers closed around the cold metal, my world turned upside down. It wasn't a broken trailer this time. It was the whole movie in high definition. I saw Liam, but it wasn't my Liam. This one was cold, a smirk on his face. He was on the phone, his voice dripping with an arrogance I'd never heard.
She totally trusts me. The girl, Chloe. A little neurotic, but useful. Yes, she's like a little truffle pig sniffing out all the old junk. We'll have Serafina's legacy very soon.
My stomach dropped. Then the image shifted. He was signing a document. And at the top of the page, clear as day, was the symbol, the eagle holding a compass. I dropped the pen like it was on fire. All the blood drained from my face. I looked up. Liam was looking down at me, his face a perfect mask of concern.
Chloe, are you okay? You look like you've seen a ghost.
I couldn't speak. My brain was just white noise, his voice echoing in my head. Useful, useful, useful. How could I have been so stupid? So desperate for someone to just see me that I didn't see him at all. I think my blood sugar is low. I just need to go lie down. I didn't walk. I fled. I ran upstairs, locked my door, and slid down to the floor. And then I just cried. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't imagining things. I was a complete and total idiot. Every smile, every kind word, it was all an act. He wasn't here to help. He was here to steal. And I was his favorite tool. After I ran out of tears, something else took over. A cold, hard anger. He was not going to win. I was done being the useful little truffle pig. A silent war began that day. On the outside, I was the same quiet, clumsy Chloe. I played my part. I would lead him on wild goose chases. You know, I think I felt something weird coming from that old trunk in the attic.
Chloe, we've checked that trunk 3 times. It's empty.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. But at night, when the house was dark and quiet, the real me came out. I became a ghost in my own home. I used my curse as a weapon. I systematically explored every room. I touched everything. Serafina's old dresses. I felt her determination as she packed a bag. The soil of a dead plant. I saw her bury a small key. A book on her nightstand. I felt her passion for science, her obsession. I had to find the truth before he did. One night, he almost caught me. I was in the library, a floorboard creaked upstairs. I saw the beam of his flashlight cut through the darkness under the door. I held my breath. hiding behind a sofa, my heart trying to beat its way out of my chest. He was searching for me. The game was getting more dangerous. I knew, whatever his legacy was, it was much more than just money. Liam was getting impatient. I could feel it. He started watching me more closely. Our conversations felt like chess matches.
Are you sure you're telling me everything, Chloe? Sometimes it feels like you're holding back.
What would I hold back? I don't know anything.
Don't you? It's funny, for someone who doesn't know anything, you have a strange habit of being in the right place at the right time.
I was a much better actor than he thought. Years of being invisible teaches you how to hide in plain sight. The real breakthrough came from the fireplace in Serafina's bedroom. One night, I was just running my hand along the cold bricks, and then I felt it. An echo. Serafina, late at night, pulling a loose brick from the wall. She tucked something small inside. The next day, I waited for Liam to leave town for a research trip. I went straight to the fireplace. I worked my fingers into the cracks, pulling until my nails bled. Finally, the brick came loose, and inside, there it was, a silver pocket watch. It was simple, plain. The hands were stopped forever at 3:10. I took a deep breath. My heart was pounding against my ribs. I closed my hand around the cool metal. It was the longest, clearest echo I had ever had. I saw it all. Serafina's secret lab. It was hidden behind the wall of the study. It wasn't magic, it was science. Science far beyond its time. She had built a device that could convert a person's bioelectric signals, their memories, into a stable energy field, a field that could be stored and replayed. She wasn't studying history. She was bottling time itself. And the handsome man from the diary, he was her partner, her lover. But Liam's family, the Valerius Foundation, they came to him with offers of money, of power. He betrayed her. He tried to sell the technology to them, to be used to control people, to rewrite history. I saw the final memory. The man leading the Foundation's agents into the lab. Serafina standing there, perfectly calm. She wound up the music box. The strange tune played, but this time, it triggered an emergency lockdown. Then, she looked right at me. It felt like she was looking through time. She smiled, a sad, knowing smile, and she flipped a tiny switch on the back of the pocket watch. There was a brilliant flash of light, and she was gone. I came back to myself, gasping for air. My hand was slick with sweat. I finally understood. Serafina wasn't dead. She had teleported herself away to somewhere safe. She faked her own death, and she left this house, this lab, as a battlefield and a test for me. I didn't waste a second. I ran to the study. I found the old globe on the stand. I remembered the sequence from the echo. I spun it, my fingers pressing on specific countries. A low grinding sound started. The bookshelf slid sideways, revealing a heavy metal door. The lab was exactly as I had seen it, and in the center of the room, on a pedestal, was the prototype. It was beautiful.
I should have known. You're much smarter than you look.
I spun around. Liam was leaning against the doorframe. The warm, friendly mask was gone. His eyes were cold.
It must have been exhausting keeping up the act. The shy, insecure girl who was afraid of her own shadow. A very convincing performance.
Look who's talking. The history researcher role was pretty good too.
Enough games! Don't be a fool! Give me the prototype. You and your pathetic family can have more money than you could ever spend. You could go anywhere, be anyone. You'd never have to be so ordinary ever again.
His words hit me exactly where he wanted them to. Right in my deepest insecurity. For a split second, I actually thought about it. No more hiding, no more feeling invisible. But then I saw the greed in his eyes, the pure, ugly hunger for power. And I thought of Serafina, her courage, the smile she gave me across time. I looked him straight in the eye. For the first time, I didn't look away. My voice came out steady. You know what, Liam? You're right. I spent a long time being invisible, but it taught me one very important thing. It taught me how to watch, how to see the things people like you try so hard to hide. Before you could react, I lunged for the old music box on a nearby table. My fingers flew across the keys, playing the lockdown melody. Sirens wailed through the room. The heavy metal door began to slide shut with a deafening groan.
What did you do?
He charged at me, but I dodged behind the prototype's pedestal. He was trapped between the descending door and the solid wall. He slammed his fists against the metal, but it was useless. It's Serafina's insurance policy. For thieves like you. I pulled out my phone. My hands were shaking, but I hit the numbers. 911. The police came. They found a recording device inside Liam's expensive fountain pen. It had everything. All of his calls with the Valerius Foundation. They had enough to take them all down. Later, in the lab, I found a letter from Serafina and a patent for her technology filed years ago, and a bank account. There was enough money in it to solve all our problems and then some. At the end of the letter, she wrote to me.
My dear Chloe, if you are reading this, it means you have found the strength that runs in our family. Do not see it as a curse. Our gift is not for seeing the past. It is for protecting the future. Go and live your life. Speak with your own voice, because the most powerful memories are always the ones we make ourselves.
I used to think being different was a curse, a secret that kept me separate from the rest of the world. But now I know it's my strength. I'm no longer the girl hiding in the corner.